Hello, everyone. If I try and set this up for any bit longer, I'm never going to start it. This is a Firebase tutorial for a social network app. Really what I want to go over is posts, comments, likes, updating posts when comments are added. Figuring that out with NoSQL has not been fun, so I hope to shed some light on that. I'm going to try and just jump right into it. I hate it when people talk too long up front, so sorry if this is unorganized. This is just going to be my thought process. I've Okay, on the video I've got pulled up here. Hello. I've written this out because as time has passed, I've realized that going fast in software means going slow, and I'm very lazy when it comes to software, and I hate writing software twice when I could write it once. So I'm not saying this is the right way of doing things. I'm saying this is the way I'm doing it, and it works, and everything isn't blowing up. There's probably a million different ways to improve, but trying to find all those ways, I guess you put things on the internet to figure those things out. So let me just walk through. I've got this social network app that I'm working on, and it's in an okay state right now. It's not great. I guess if it was great, I wouldn't be doing this. But I've come to the place where I've got on the profile, we want to show a list of everybody's posts, and people can follow others and see a list. I mean, it's a standard social media app. You could see a list of everybody else's posts. And so the problem I was running into had something to do with whenever you commented on someone's post, the client that I'm working for wanted to show the first two comments. And so in order to do that with Firebase, you actually have to, every time a comment's made, you have to check all of the posts on all of the feeds everywhere, essentially. Well, you don't have to check this, but you have to update to make sure that those posts reflect the comments. And to do this with Firebase, you do something called a fan out transaction update. And I'm going to get into that more here in just a second with the code. But really wanted to go slow and show each step of the way here. So everything about posts, comments, likes here. Okay, you can see that. Okay. So if user A posts, user A's post goes to all of user A's followers, and the post for the user under user A's ID, and the post ID is where the post lives. And this is in Firebase. You can't quite see that on the right side there. There's just a little bit that's on this side of the page. And I've got a very janky recording setup right now. Hopefully this gets better in the future. User comments on user A's post. So that's when the post happens. So when the post happens, it goes to all of A's followers, and it goes to A's posts itself. And this is specifically in NoSQL. I'm going to use Firebase. I'm sure you can do it a million other ways. Please let me know how smart you are in the comments. Now, after you have a post, you can obviously comment on a post. So if somebody comments on user A's post, first I have this if comments is greater than 2. The client wanted to see the first 2 comments, so that's what that was. But I've got this little X mark. I actually moved that down here is where that is. Okay, and I hope this isn't too delayed. One finger. It's not delayed. It's not too bad. Okay, so once you post a comment, it's going to go under the comments tree with the post ID for post A in this particular instance, and then you've got a new comment key that gets generated by Firebase, and then you've got the new comment that actually lives there. So that's when you post the comment. Now, after you post a comment, we have to update the posts. Let's see. We could probably do this a little bit smarter, but let's see. Anyway, somewhere we're gonna have to determine if the comment count is 0 and if it's 1. If it's 0, we're going to put this post under post 1 of or comment 1 of this post. So it's going to be posts user A post ID, and then post actually first comment. So this is going to be post and then first comment. Same thing here in this other one. Posts user A post ID and then this is going to be posts. So it's going to be this posts child of this object. Second comment equals comment. Okay. And that's my wife. I'm going to have to find a way, if she says anything that shouldn't be on video, to get that out of the video. I'll probably have to just cut it. Shit. Sorry here. Recording cuts. And that one was at like around 520. Alexa texts. That's going to be annoying to have to record. Okay. So that's about all. Now, this little bit at the bottom that you can see, because we're updating a post, we need to fan this out to all user A's followers as well as the user post reference. So feed all of user A's current followers. That's going to be the fan out's going to consist of all of the follower IDs of user A, which we'll go to an article here shortly to look at, and then user A post ID, and then it's going to get the new updated post, and that's going to be after we add the comments to that post. Also, need to update users' list of posts seen in profiles of post, user A ID, post equals updated post, and all fan out. Now, okay. So that's enough of the paper. So we're going to hide that. Here is the source control. I have dreams and hopes of keeping everything under proper source control. And I want to turn this all into an open source library where you can go create your own social media app without really thinking too much about it. Because the fact of the matter is Facebook and Twitter and all these dumbass social media, they're so easy to make. They're just a little tricky. And they're valuable because of, not because of the value they bring to society anyway, but they steal all of our data. So the more all of us know how to make our own social media networks, and the more open source everything becomes, the better it'll be for everybody. So let's see. I'm going to put a recording cuts right there. This is going to be links. So I'm going to put, and I'll show Chrome here. Which Chrome is this? ASDF. The cuts here. Okay, and so I'm going to show this Firebase fan out article. There we go, client-side fan out for data consistency. And so there are a couple here. There's one on Hacker Noon. Way too common misconceptions. Maybe I'll have to read more about this, but essentially fan out just looks like this. Oops. There we go. In JavaScript. And I'm doing this all in JavaScript. I'm writing this in React Native. This stuff, I mean, JavaScript looks like every other language, so we could do it in Swift or in Kotlin or Java. And maybe we will later if there's any interest in this and if I'm doing this okay. If not, then, well, then at least I'm doing it myself. So we'll do some more reading on all these, but essentially this post is going to be what we're basing our technique off of. And again, if you have any improvements for this, by all means, let me know. So essentially all we're going to do, this is going to be, this followers here is going to get the, it's going to get all the keys of all the people that follow in my example user A. And then what this does is it generates, it puts in this fan out object, it goes and it creates essentially the updates. So when we get the fan out post, let's see, what do we end up doing with that? Well, then we're just going to update the, fan out object. Okay, yeah. So you're going to just update the root reference or whatever reference you're at in the Firebase database. Because we're using the Firebase real-time database. I'm sure you can do this with Firestore. I haven't experimented too much with Firestore to really get a good feel for what really the difference is. I just know you've got records and things like that. Anyway, so yeah, so let's go ahead and that'll be the intro video, and then the next one will actually start writing some code, and we'll write the code in these things that I call. I'll hide this Chrome real quick, and we'll hide source tree, and we'll write these in these files I've called interactors. I've heard them referred to as use cases. I don't even know if I'm using that terminology. It just makes sense to me. So an interactor is something that happens that it's a in Java they were objects, but in JavaScript it's, I don't know, what is this? It's just some random method in some random class. It's just something you can do. So you can get the feed, you can add a post to feed. Here's the posts. I see I haven't even started this, so create a new post, get posts to users made, get posts to users liked. Here's one for comments, add comment. See, this is all just very messy. I really need to clean this up. A little bit of RxJS in here, and then, uh-oh. That was almost bad. Anyway, I've got my Firebase stuff here. I hope I don't show anything that I'm not supposed to show. Upload image, delete image, just some Firebase utils. And yeah, so let's, that was just a recording test. Let's go ahead and end the intro, and we will start writing some code in this next video.